Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, desolations, peasants, vassals, minions. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome. And my last video, ironically, was about a rock star. And this video is also about a rock star because Ben Bernanke is now a rock star. And he's hit the gravy train now. This is a good gig, especially for a Federal Reserve economist. Alan Greenspan was in there for years, so nobody else got to take advantage of that gravy train because he was in there for so long. So Ben Bernanke wasn't in there that long, and he gets to cash in on the gravy train right now. And it's also a big plus for somebody like Ben Bernanke because as an academic economist, pretty much the only place you can really get a job is the Federal Reserve. So the fact that out of all those students of the dismal science, he was able to rise up and dominate the field of academic economists now working at the Fed is quite an achievement indeed. But what I want to talk about, and there's a lot of other good videos on this, including a video by my friend Bertley, but I want to go in a little more detail about this because to me it reflects the revolving door, but more importantly, the way the payoff system works. And this payoff system works the same for politicians, and it works the same for Ben Bernanke, and it works the same for Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner and all these other people that leave government service. They're patient while they're in office because they know the big money is when they get out of office, and then there are no restraints, there are no rules to rope in the money that can be showered on them. So that's why somebody like Bill Clinton, his net worth increases only a certain amount while he's in the White House, and he's allowed to invest to a certain degree, but what ends up happening is that once they get out of office, that's when all these special interests that he served while he's in office end up paying him huge amounts just to go out and speak. And of course, these amounts are so ludicrous, it's pretty obvious that they're all about basically payoffs. This is the big payoff. So Bill Clinton is worth something like $10 million now because he gets $500,000 a speech. He's been known to get $750,000 a speech. This is, for an hour speech to all the same special interests, all the corporations, all the foundations, all the banks, everybody else that he bailed out when he was in office. So this is how it works. So let's get back to Ben Bernanke. So what happens with him? His 2013 paycheck was $199,700, and now in his the first week of his speaking tour, he made $250,000 a speech for speaking a total of 40 minutes at each speech. So 120 minutes of speech, and he makes $750,000. So essentially in a week, he can make 4 to 5 times what he made in an entire year as Federal Reserve Chairman. And people are paying up to $2,000 each to see these speeches. And this first speech was in Abu Dhabi for the National Bank of Abu Dhabi. But then he's going to go on to 2 more engagements at the financial firm Discovery Limited in South Africa, and then back to Houston, Texas to talk to Siemens. So they expect him to continue racking up and being a marketable speaker for some time to come. So Ben Bernanke is going to end up rich on this deal. And like Geithner and all the rest, he's also got a book deal. And this is the same path that Greenspan took. Of course, Greenspan shopped around the book, got $8 million for his book. And so Bernanke, considering he was in the middle of the New Depression, he should be able to get a lot more than $8 million for his book. So that's another part of his big payday. And Greenspan had the same path as Bernanke before him. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go into the story a little bit more, because it is pretty interesting that Greenspan, that first day, the first week after he left his position as Fed chairman, he had a speech at Lehman Brothers where he was paid $250,000, and the same day had a private telechat with Japanese investors that brought in $120,000. So in total, the first day within a total of about an hour, he made $370,000. And so that's how it works. And then the irony, of course, that Greenspan spoke at Lehman Brothers about a month before the financial collapse. But they got their money's worth, and he got his money's worth. And like I say, Tim Geithner is also preparing a book and has made at least $400,000 for 3 speeches. So he's in the $150,000, $125,000 a speech range as well. So he's going to be soaking up this money from the masters that he served so well. And Bernanke had a couple other things to say. Of course, he joked now that he can say whatever he wants to say, and he regrets that Main Street doesn't really understand the bailouts. But he doesn't need to regret that, because the fact is that most Americans do understand the bailouts. So here we go. Ben Bernanke on his global tour to be thanked by the banker masters that he served so well. They're going to shower him with money and kiss his ass now for everything he did for them. And who can blame them, because Ben Bernanke did so very, very, very much for all of them. So let's look for upcoming speeches at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, Lloyds, Royal Bank of Scotland, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, GE, GM, and on and on and on. And hey, way to go, Ben Bernanke. Cha-ching. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.